everybody. I thought I'd share with you today what I do for my embellishments. I've had a lot of people comment about them and think that I use glossy accents or something, and 99% of the time what I'm using is Versamark and clear embossing powder. So I thought I'd share that with you. And anytime, and especially for you buy a new ink pad, buy the re-inker to go with it, but especially for your Versamark, because you're going to go through quite a bit of it if you're doing any amount of embossing. So I've just got a flower there that I'm just tapping away on, getting it all sticky, and my piece of paper here. Very carefully on the end, just flip it over and set it down. And then I got another flower. With a bigger piece you can, well, I'll show you in a minute what to do with that. So I've got them both nice and sticky, and put them on a piece of paper. I've seen people use coffee filters, but I just prefer the piece of copy paper here. And don't be shy with your embossing powder, because you're going to pour 99% of it back again. So just fish around in here and find it. Shake it off. Find the other one. Now before you go any further, put this away. And just pour it back into your container. And I have a garbage pail down here beside me, so I'm not just shaking that off onto the floor. And when you're done, put the lid back on it, because if you knock that on the floor, it is going to be the worst mess. And look at there, a pug hair. I wonder where that came from, Rose. Another really good tool to have is one of these paper piercers, because they're good for hanging on. And just find a spot near the edge of the whatever you're holding down. This is going to be a little noisy. And just heat it up until it melts. You do not want to hold it on there too long, because you can burn it and it'll lose its gloss. Okay, there's that one. And then here's the small one. Okay. And it only takes a second for them to cool off so that you can handle them. While we're giving them a second, we'll tell you that there are various kinds of embossing powder. This is the clear, and fine detailed works the best, I find. It melts faster and everything. It depends on what you want it for. I also like the iridescent. I don't know whether you can see it in there or not. I guess maybe you can see it a little bit on the bottom of the container there. But you can see maybe with the snowflake that I did, that's with the iridescent. Hopefully it'll show up. And then you've got tinsel, which I've already done. Now I kind of didn't wait long enough, and I kind of hit it there and it kind of knocked it off a few places. But what I've done is just inked around the edges, and it's good for making borders. So if you want to just make a fancy border for like a card or something, you can just do that. You don't have any glitter paper. And then there's just the silver and the gold. That's just the plain. And you can get all different colors. I do not have a lot of different colors. I'll show you that one in a minute. That's a puff. I was a little disappointed in it. It really doesn't puff up that much, but it does make it a little puffy. And Distress powders. These are quite a bit different from your other kinds. This will leave almost like a sandpaper texture. And whenever you see distress, it means distress. You're not going to get a fine edge. Like with the Distress inks, you're not going to get a crisp image if you use Distress ink, which is the whole idea behind them. So don't expect it if you're using Distress inks to get a clean one. Alright, so to make a flower, I've already embossed these. You can see how shiny they are. There we are. And just take your little roly thing here and just give it a gentle, just roll up each petal. Am I even in frame here? Can you, I suppose that's hard to see, blue on the purple, but you just lightly roll up each petal, just to give it some dimension. And then just flip them over and just give a push down in the center. Push down in the center. And just grab my glue here. And you just need a dot in the middle. Get that lined up. Another little dot in the middle. And just get in there. Slide that in. And there you go. You can see it's a nice shiny, and it just sort of makes it pop a little bit more than just the plain cardstock. So it's quite quick and easy to do. And of course you can use whatever punch or whatever you have to do that. Another thing that's very, very important is to have some kind of, this is a embossing buddy or some whatever full name it is. There's another one that's a squirty powder thing EK Success puts out, or you can use a use dryer sheet. You need something to mop up the oils from your fingers or reduce the static so that the embossing powder doesn't stick all over the whole piece of paper. So I've got a clear stamp on there. So you just give that a couple of whacks with the Versamark. And stamp it. And just get my piece of paper here again. This makes a real pretty combination with the black paper. You can see already before I have it even heat set, And again, put your powder away. These little wow bottles are kind of hard to hit, but... And put the lid on. There you go. Now you're ready to go ahead and heat this up. It's kind of fun to watch it as you go along, how it melts. It really makes the colors pop. And you'll see that the paper has buckled a bit. So if you just go on the back side and heat it up a little, it'll flatten it down some. So that really raises it up and just draws attention to what you've got stamped there. Another thing I really like it for is my pictures that I've colored up. So this is just a silicone mat. I cut mine up into a couple of small pieces because I don't have much area to work on. So I just take my pad here and just go over the whole thing. And that looks good. That out of the way and get my hunk of paper back and get my clear embossing powder again. Oh good, they're out cutting the grass next door. Okay, well I'll make this real fast here. Get my powder put back. Oh, they couldn't wait 2 more minutes to cut the grass over there, could they? Okay. Real quick, what to do with that? There it is. But you can see how much brighter it's getting and how much it shows off the colors a lot better now. Especially with the watercolors. It gives it a lot more depth too, I think. And you can go over it a second and third time if you want. But you can see how nice that looks done that way. Okie dokie. So if you have any questions about anything, just give me a holler. Alright, take care. Bye.